My number 5 running back, Lamar Jackson.
Cool. Now we're on to running backs.
I think King Henry's coming in at number 1.
Hey, after the first 2 weeks, it didn't look like it.
It didn't. I mean, even in the first week, they had my guy on the sideline most of the second half.
Dude,
but again, that's the mindset that, sometimes playing against our boys, the Chiefs, you started getting out of your game plan, and one of the best backs has been proven you're not getting the ball. Now he's been showing you why you give me the ball.
This is absolutely crazy. Through 6 weeks, 704 yards.
Dude, 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
704.
8 rushing touchdowns.
And when you look at his stats, right, that's why I had Lamar Jackson number 1.
Yep.
Because the difference is, I was talking with a colleague of mine yesterday, the difference is with Lamar Jackson, because of who he is and his ability, that read option is dangerous. Because like my friend brought up yesterday, he was like, you got to think about it. When they're rolling that read option, you have to have a man that goes after Jackson.
Yep.
So that removes that guy going after Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Who you need. You need everybody going after him with how big he is. So it just attests to the strengths that Lamar Jackson brings, and now how Derrick Henry is shining even more on top of his ability. So King Henry is still the king. Okay.
Got him
Number 2.
Yep.
I got Barkley.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how he was going to pan out.
Yeah.
Going to Philadelphia, but because I was like, are they going to will he actually still get the ball as much?
Right.
And so Saquon Barkley, I think, has been playing extremely well.
Yeah.
And he's bringing a dynamic to their offense that, they hadn't really had as the caliber running back that he is.
Right.
They had DeAndre Swift last year, and they had Miles Sanders, but Barkley, he's a top dog.
Right.
So Saquon, I think, has been playing really well. I got number 2.
Okay.
And then number 3, I got Alvin Kamara.
Okay.
Just because, he does so much for that team.
Yeah.
And, they look to get him the ball, rushing, receiving, he's tied for second in touchdowns. He's their guy offensively,
Yeah.
And so Alvin, and I like him as a player. So Alvin Kamara. Number 4, I got Kyron Williams. I like this dude a lot.
Yeah, man.
Not only because I have him in my fantasy league, but he's playing extremely well on their offense. When you got to think, even the numbers he's bringing, set and with the 2 top receivers on their team out, he is still making plays, and he's playing extremely well.
Yeah.
And then number 5, I got Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
I got Josh Jacobs coming at number 5. Not crazy much to say about there, other than I think he's playing well to open up some things for Jordan Love. Although they really haven't given him the ball, he only has 1 touchdown in the red zone, because they've been throwing a lot, which kind of opens up some of that, opens up for him because of the caliber Josh Jacobs is. But I think overall, he's playing well. So that's my 5 right there, man.
Okay, so I'm working backwards.
Okay.
My number 5 running back, Lamar Jackson. He's got over 400 yards rushing. This guy is a top. He's a top 10 running back. He's a quarterback, and yet he's a top 10 running back.
You ain't lying.
What? Okay, I'm sticking with it. No, I'll switch it. I'll switch it up, but because he is a quarterback, we'll stick to just the running back position. But Lamar Jackson does need his flowers there too. His Zay flowers.
Yeah. I heard what you said there.
Anyways, so at number 5 for me, I'm gonna go Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, I
Chuba.
Yeah, I had him tied in that top 5. But
yep.
Yeah, he's
Chuba
coming
Hubbard's
alive,
looking great. Week 1 wasn't the best of weeks. He had 6 rushes for 14 yards.
Well, he wasn't even the starter week 1.
Right. So, yeah, and that shows like a little bit. Week 2, 10 carries for 64 yards. I mean, pretty good. Pretty good. And since week 2, he has not averaged below 5 yards a carry.
Ever since, honestly, Andy Dalton's been starting.
Yeah, for real.
Yep.
Like, since Andy Dalton's been starting, it's opened up the running game for Chuba Hubbard, and that dude is rolling. He could have a little bit more on the touchdown side. They could give him the ball a little bit more in the end zone, but it is what it is. My number 4, I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs.
Jacobs? Okay.
Yep. Going to go with Josh Jacobs. Yeah, man. He's got over 100 rushing attempts. He's got 464 yards, 4.3 yards a carry. I mean, it's like a little resurgence for him. You know what I mean? Like, coming to a team that's winning. Finally, he's on a team that's winning regularly. Good for him, man. My next one, I'm going to leave one of the guys I won in the top 5 out, but who cares? My next one, that was my number 4, right? That was my number 4. Yep. My number 3, number 3, Jordan Mason.
Jordan Mason, okay, yeah.
Jordan Mason. This guy comes in off the back of Christian McCaffrey not being able to play.
Right.
And he's number 2 in carries, number 2 in yards. He has 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 5.3 per attempt. So, like, that's kind of crazy, man. To be a guy who was on the bench, going to be a backup running back to Christian McCaffrey, and yet their running game has not lacked at all. At all. This guy has not had less than 73 yards, which just so happened to be this past week. Oh, mind you, that 73 yards was on 9 carries.
Right.
It's 9.1 per carry. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy to me. He's not a catcher out of the backfield, really, so you do lose a little bit of that with Christian McCaffrey being out. But in his 3rd season out of Georgia Tech, Jordan Mason, he's the guy. He's the guy. He's number 3. Number 2.
Who you got?
J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, J.K. Dobbins.
I'm throwing J.K. Dobbins in there.
The Dobbs.
Like, this guy has given himself a little resurgence. I mean, a couple games. He's had 2 games where it was, lackluster games against Pittsburgh and Kansas City, who have really good defenses, who focus on stopping running backs. You know what I mean? But outside of that, 96 was his least amount of yards, and that was against Denver last week. But J.K. Dobbins, man, good on him for coming back and being able to show that he's able to move the ball. I mean, he's 13th.
He's alive.
He's 13th in carries, but he's 6th in yards.
Okay. Yep.
So I mean, good on him. Good on him. And then I think you got to go with you kind of got to go with the number 1, right?
Yes.
Derrick Henry.
Yes.
Derrick Henry, man.
Yes.
How can you not put Derrick Henry at number 1?
Yep.
I mean, go to week 1, Josiah. So week 1 against the Chiefs, he had 46 yards. 46 yards. It wasn't working out well enough to where they put him on the bench. Since then,
He did.
he's averaging. So since then, he's averaging, I'm going to say, close to 6 yards a carry, it seems like. It's pretty insane. He hasn't had less than 84 yards since they played the Chiefs. And his the longest run he's had in each game has been at least 27 yards, minus the Chiefs game. But still,